We continue our look now at the jobs picture through the eyes of business school students across the United States. Today we headed over to one of the most prestigious, the Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania. Does the brand name actually pay off for students? They say yes, but you have to think outside the B-School box and maybe even pack your bags for the emerging markets.
Starting with the demise of Lehman in October of 2008, things were rough. Our students graduated. For the students graduating in May of 2009, that was a tough year. It has been a lot better this year, and hopefully we're back to some kind of new normal going forward.
What is that new normal?
Yeah, well, for us, typically, over 90–95% of our students have a job after graduation, so that's normally where we are. Like the dean said, for the students that graduated in 2009, we saw a little bit of a dip down into the 80s, but that number has already climbed back up for the students that just graduated, and so we're headed back to where we were, which again for us is, you know, well over 90–95% of our students who have jobs.
And it's probably fair to say too that some of the delay in getting jobs is not because people weren't offered something. It's that they weren't offered something that they wanted.
Right.
And they are, understandably, you know, worried about the first job they take and where that's going to position them. So they're a little picky.
Yeah.
A little bit. Picky. And as the economy gets, you know, gets better, they get pickier, and as it gets worse, they get a little less picky.
Wharton students are picky?
Well, I think a lot of it also is students want to get more non-traditional jobs, and non-traditional jobs that doesn't go through the actual normal recruiting cycle ends up coming a little bit later than the more traditional jobs that you can find at Wharton. So,
like what?
For example, like real estate private equity, or clean tech, or you know, energy, things like that. By the time people graduated, maybe the number of people who have jobs are a little bit lower, but at the end, you know, like 3 months out, 4 months out from MBA school, I think a lot of people had jobs that they wanted, and it was really worth the wait, even though it was kind of nerve-wracking.
So is it fair to say then the new normal for hiring is that it has bounced back, but perhaps in less obvious sectors and in less obvious places in the world?
Even within finance, finance has changed. It's not that finance has gone away, but private equity has become more important, hedge funds are more important, or boutique investment banks have become more important. So many of our students are still in finance, but maybe not in the same investment banks they were in 5 years ago. That it's a more diverse portfolio of financial services.
And they're probably domiciled
All over the world.
in Mumbai, in Shanghai, in Hong Kong.
Some people might not agree with me if I say this, but our generation, or the students who are kind of around our age, they're not really looking to do you know, investment banking, consulting, those traditional jobs as much as the previous generation of MBA students, and they're really looking to do some, you know, one, make an impact in society, like, you know, through social impact, and also do things that kind of interest them and that are unique to them.
And have longevity.
Right, and have longevity.
But I think that's
work-life balance.
Don't forget to check out our webpage, CNBC.com, for more on the hiring prospects for MBA students.